Right, so that's us back again after phone calls which turned out to be not a marketing call. Anyway, right, hopefully I've joined all these videos together to merge them. So we've got...
Either that or we all Mince, Deborah.
So we've got our pastry and we're just doing this ever so carefully. And it is a little bit more delicate than
me.
Than you. Than your standard wheat-based pastry. But if you're very careful with it, it's okay. And if it breaks, it doesn't matter because you can just... so this has just settled a bit onto the worktop because I had to go away and deal with a phone call. But if it does, you can just roll it back up again, squash it up, call it a few names, and then roll it back out again. Because it's gluten free, so you're not going to build up the gluten. So, and that's the only reason you don't like re-rolling pastry, is not, oops, so you see that's just torn a little bit as that one. That's okay, because we can just mould it. And these are my mince pies anyway, so. And just see how it's just torn a little bit there? Can you see that? It's just torn a little bit, but we're just moulding it. Phone calls during videos, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? Do you like my mince pies, Mr. Murphy?
Ah, they're lovely.
I'm not 100% sure that sounded very convincing then.
Well, I don't eat a lot of mince pies either, Deborah.
No, I try not to eat mince pies outside of December. But
No, you just eat them inside.
we have had a few. We have tried
Mince
a few.
pies outside in
Whose
December.
were those mince pies we had yesterday? Because they were okay actually.
No, they're no.
They were.
No, they're no.
Whose were
They're
they?
rubbish.
Whose were they? Were they Asda's?
They were that. No, they were Sainsbury's ones.
Sainsbury's.
I don't know. I didn't like them anyway.
Right. So we've got
Preference. All down to your own taste. I don't know.
I'm just gonna put those just to one side. And all we're doing is getting it all back together. And it's actually, it does become easier to handle once it's been rolled a couple of times. So we're going to get our mince meat. And I take it out of the jar and put it into a bowl just because it makes it easy. You can give it a good stir. So this is the mince meat from last year, which I would have normally used in the tea room in our halfway there cake, but the tea room is no longer there. So, and you put in a good dollop in, but not too much, because if you put too much in, it'll just explode. Out of the oven. I think that's a bit measly, is that one? And the smell is just lovely. Can you smell the mincemeat from there?
No.
No?
Fly symmetry. That's what I think. That's what I just the
Fly
same.
symmetry? No.
Ah, it's just the same idea. Fruit, just like dead flies.
No, the fly sandwiches didn't have all this brandy in. I tell
No.
you, I'm nearly drunk just smelling this because it's matured so nicely. In fact, now I'm just going to have to spread all this out. To
A bit
just,
like me, is it?
So, young Beatrix. Well, she's not quite so young now, is she? So she's now managed to pull her blue collar off again, hasn't she? So we're going to have to try and...
She got it off again?
She's just... taste any of this lovely scrummy mincemeat. If you put too much in, so that one's got too much. If you put too much in, it will explode. Not that that matters.
We stop that one up.
It's not one up. And I'm just going to wet the pastry just a little bit so that the top sticks to them. So I'm making mine with full tops, so it's a completely sealed mince pie. You can you could just do it like this and bake it and then cover the top in icing, a little bit like the icing you put on top of your Bakewell tarts.
You do it like Tommy Cooper, couldn't you?
Like Tommy, how do you mean?
Just like that. Just like that.
Just like that, yeah. And this is just water. And I'm just wetting the top. Not soaking the top, just wetting. So you could cut a little star out of your pastry, just to put a star on. It depends. I like my pastries to be full on top. I feel a little bit shortchanged if it's only half a top. And then, so these are the smaller ones. And all we're doing is just putting them on top of there. And just gently squashing them down. Okay, so do we think I'm going to get 10 out of this? I think we do. I think if anything, the rolling out the gluten-free pastry, I'll maybe use a little bit more flour than I would standard pastry. I shouldn't say standard. I don't mean standard, but you know what I mean. Pastry that's got wheat in it, and it's kind of just kind of pressing it rather than rolling it, and you kind of get a. You know how thick you want it. When you're cutting it out, if you press down, just give it a little twist, it actually frees it from the thing. So what's that? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Why do you want 11?
I don't, that's all I've got out of there, and I'll have to re-roll it.
How do you mean?
Because I was counting, because I can't cut pastry out of thin air, can I? You know, if it's not there. See, look, I'm one short, but that's okay because this pastry we can just re-roll. And what I will do, so I'm going to have more pastry than I need, because I only need enough for one more top. What I'll do is I'll roll out the other dough and I'll make some jam tarts with it. But I won't waste that. We'll have jam tarts for tea, Mr. Murphy, because I have a little bit more from the other batch. Okay, so what we're going to do?
You're just a feeder, Deborah.
I don't hear you objecting. I'm just squashing those down. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
You don't give up your day job, Deborah.
You trying to say that I'm not a very good singer?
Well, no, anyway, you're not any worse or any better than me. I'm not. I couldn't say I was a singer either.
And if it was a wheat mince pie, I would probably just cover the top in the egg wash, in the egg white. But because these gluten-free pastry doesn't brown as well as other pastry, so I think the full egg just gives it that little bit extra colour. And that's all it is, just one egg. How many mince pies do you think we eat over Christmas?
You maybe, not me.
8 loads. 8 loads. And then just to let the air come out. You can do whatever you want. You can do it with a fork. You can make a nice pretty pattern. This just lets the steam come out a little bit as the pastry's cooking. And just so that the sugar police can come after me a little bit more, I like to this is just caster sugar, just in a sieve, and just sprinkle. And they're going to be done at 160 for 25 minutes. And they are going to go in a little bit. But when we had our break, I actually made so the other half of the pastry, and here we have our mince pies. So these have been baked for 25 minutes, and just look at those. And then the last thing that I do just before I serve them is I just sprinkle. So this is icing sugar.
So you put icing sugar on them, get into, does that caster sugar?
That's caster sugar. Caster sugar when they go in, and then icing sugar. I know, sugar, 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 but it's Christmas. There you go. And because you put them in these, look how easy they just fall out of those, and none of them, so they don't stick. You don't need to grease them or anything. Perfect. And if you warm those up with just a minute or two, they're lovely. Yeah. And so that is our mince pies. I think there was something. Oh, yes, there was something. Now I'm not going to touch this. Look what arrived in the post. So this is the hard copy of my book. I'm not going to. If you let me wash my hands, I can then pick it up. No. No. Well, it says I can't pick it up. All right. And so that was especially for Elizabeth up in Elgin. I was making the gluten-free mince pies. Okay. Hope the videos have worked.